What's good, YouTube? This your man Spill Dog. Man, we just got through watching Shakur Stevenson go 12 hard rounds to get the victory over over William Zepeda. And in time in that fight, like I think the third, fourth round, I was almost concerned Shakur was possibly gonna get knocked out. It was looking that bad at one point in the fight because of the pressure and the volume punches, and when Shakur was trying to catch him with counter shots. Zepeda had so many punches coming, and he was getting clipped a lot in the beginning, which gave me which makes you have to respect Shakur Stevenson more, because he truly had to go in there after the fourth round and make adjustments, fourth and fifth round, and make the right adjustments. And by the sixth, seventh round, he had taken control of the fight. He went. Zepeda went 12 rounds with Shakur. He went 24 hard rounds with Tevin Farmer, and Shakur. Shakur won the fight, and he did control the second half, but it wasn't that much different than the Tevin Farmer fights. And what I mean by that is Shakur wasn't even close to knocking this dude out or nothing like that. It was just a simple case of him being a more talented, complete fighter, and him dominating on the back end. Well, not dominating, but him taking control on the back end. Don't tell me no more that Schofield ain't ready. After a dude that just went 24 rounds with a guy that took Shakur 12 hard rounds, he said it himself after the fight. Shorty went out there and knocked out Tevin Farmer as if he had no business in the ring with him. So you can't tell me Schofield ain't for real no more. And I think what happened with Shakur is the same thing that happened to Tank, but Shakur handled it better. And, plus with the De Los Santos fight. But when you're not fighting, when you're an elite level fighter and you're not fighting other elite level fighters, when you do get in the ring with one, a lot of times you rusty. This is almost a new experience, because you done got used to going out there in front of the crowd and just putting on the show, basically doing whatever you want to do, whenever you feel like doing it, because you got so much more skill. Your skill level is so much higher than the guys you in the ring with. Soon as you put a dog in there, a lot of times these guys ain't, it take them 4 or 5 rounds to get their bearings and get themselves together where they can go on in there and try to be themselves. Shakur was clearly uncomfortable the first 4 rounds of that fight. I mean, he was noticeably uncomfortable. I mean, to the point where I was seriously concerned about him losing the fight. I even said, man, one of the dudes, this dude Charles Thomas, that come in my comment section, I was like, man, if he fucked this fight up, I ain't gonna hear the end of it from Charles Thomas. But he did gain control, caught his composure. But you can see in his eyes in that third round, it was a lot of. I mean, it wasn't fear, but he was definitely concerned. Because this dude was all over him. And it was hard for him to get them counter shots in, because Zepeda was throwing so many punches. Shakur got next level defense, but even with that, he got caught with quite a few, especially early, big flush shots. Zepeda looks to me like he's a volume puncher, but I don't see a power puncher there. I don't see a lot of power on them shots. Schofield is a power puncher. The Tank is a power puncher. It's some dudes, if Shakur keep getting clipped early, you remember the guy Josh Padley clipped Shakur with a lot of good shots early. Not a lot, but enough that if a quality fighter do it, he could possibly get knocked out. I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but after the last couple of fights I seen him in, he been catching some good. He been getting clipped with some good, big, clean shots. Usually that overhand, and that's what a short dude gonna hit you with, a overhand left or a right. So if Schofield catch him like that early in the fight, he may knock him out. I'm not saying he will. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm looking at Shakur. I thought he would dominate this dude, and there was it wasn't even close to domination. Now he clearly won the fight, but it damn sure wasn't no domination there. And that let me know. I hope this wake these motherfuckers up, and they just stop going out here cherry picking these easy fights and stay fighting the guys in the top 2 or 3 in your division. If you that man up there, and stop all that, because there's plenty of guys out here. We got Abdullah Mason and Floyd Schofield ready. They ready for anybody in these divisions. So all that shit about how young they is, them just excuses not to fight. And after I watched Shakur go 12 hard rounds with a guy that Tevin Farmer that went 24 rounds with, and I watched Shorty go out here and annihilate this dude in a minute, and within seconds. Shit, you can't tell me he gonna make some noise at 135. And truth be told, I got a feeling some of these guys that's a little older, they may even move up to not fight some of them dudes. It's possible. I don't think Shakur do that, but some of these dudes is. I would like to see Shakur and Schofield now. Shakur may not take the fight. I mean, and if he don't, you really couldn't be mad at him. Why would I trust you again to go through a training camp and then y'all might pull this bullshit at the last minute again? But as long as Shakur's still getting his regular money, whether they pull out or not, I say go and fight him. But it's plenty of good fights at 135 pounds. So if you don't want to fight Schofield, that ain't a big deal. You got Andy Cruz out there. You got Tank out there. You got Abdullah Mason who finna get a belt. Whoever this dude is, he finna fight next. He gonna win that fight, whether it be knockout or decision. So it's plenty of guys out here, good top A-level fighters for Shakur, Tank, all them dudes. But it's time for all them guys to be fighting each other and stop looking around for the soft touches. That's why dudes, when they get somebody real in the ring, they struggling like that, and they panicking and shit like that, because they done had it. They've been dealing with dudes that wasn't able to press them or push them to this limit. So I just think from here on out, I just don't want to hear nothing about Shorty ain't ready. And these dudes, they ready. Especially Schofield, he definitely ready. And I think Shakur Stevenson, although he fought a good fight tonight, I think he need to figure out how he gonna start being able to put some hurting on some fighters, because what he did tonight, a guy that was, if Zepeda was a little bit taller and was a better boxer, Shakur could have been in big motherfucking trouble. He really could have. I mean, he could have been in some big fucking trouble. He did his thing, and I was proud of him, the way he made his adjustments and came out in the second half of that fight. But what I saw, I was expecting to see a much. Now I love the defense. At points, it did look like Floyd versus Manuel Juan Marquez up in there. Don't get me wrong, I saw a whole lot of good in there tonight, but I just think he need to stay fighting better fighters, because he getting clipped early too much, flush. In the last 2 fights I seen him in, he done got clipped flush early, and he need to get away from that before he get in there with one of these killers who can really punch, because it could change the whole complexion of the fight. But Shakur is gonna be a handful for anybody, because just like Floyd Mayweather, what he lacking in offense, he more than make up for it on the defensive side. I mean, he showed some beautiful defense in that tonight, and dudes is gonna have a hard time beating Shakur. But at the same time, don't tell me Schofield and Abdullah Mason and these young dudes don't deserve to be in the mix and getting 8 shots at these dudes. But that's it for me on this video. If you like the video, to like and subscribe. Till next time, it's your boy Spill Dog. I'm out.